What's up, 2 a.m. Kashira? How you doing? Is it 2 a.m. where you are? I'm guessing 2 a.m. or maybe 3 a.m. 3 a.m. I'm gonna say 3 a.m. Am I close? Hey, Hartvig. Nice to see you. Happy New Year. And yeah, getting into 2026 has been really great. I hope it's been the same for you as well. And yeah, some exciting things on the horizon. If you're just joining on, welcome to the 13th of January live stream. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you've been having a great start to 2026. We're already in the second week, right? And, you know, I hope it's been going well for you wherever you are. And so, what are you saying, Hartvig? Great to hear. It's been okay on my end. At least I've had time to get transcription of Pat Metheny's Soul on Windows done. Hey, that's cool. And I know the one that you're talking about. That's a great album. That's with Gary Burton, Dave Holland, Chick Corea, Pat, obviously, and Roy Haynes, right? It's either Roy Haynes or it's Jack DeJohnette. It's on the ECM label. You know, it's either on the ECM. I think it is, but it's either Roy Haynes or it's Jack DeJohnette. So, but I love that, and that is a great version of Windows, and I love Windows, and it's really cool to hear Pat play that tune, and also cool to hear Pat play with Chick Corea as well. I'm trying to think of any other recordings, or other instances where you get to hear Chick Corea and Pat Metheny together. I don't think there's many. You know, hey, bass guy, how you doing? Hello from Montreal. Nice, all the way from. I bet it is cold over there, man. It must be freezing. What's the temperature? Are you all like snowed in and all that? And And I appreciate the comments. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining on. But man, it must be freezing over there. Am I right? -1 to -20. Oh my god, yes, in a snowstorm. Okay, so you hanging for the night. You're sitting in. You're getting all cozy. All right. You ain't going out anywhere. Well, I'm glad that you could be here. So thanks for joining on. And I don't know if this is your first time here. But and for anybody else here, if this is your first time, welcome. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, this is just a good old bass hang. We nerd out about all kinds of things about bass playing, gear, technique, concepts, different bass players, recordings, and all that. Like anything to do with bass playing. So if you have any questions, just at any time, just pop it down in the chat. All right, just pop it down in the chat, and I'll do my best. All right, and yes, Montreal, home of Yuzep. Oh my God, that's right, Alain Caron. That and of course Yuzep, man. Absolutely love Yuzep. That's so cool. Oh man, really cool. And 2 a.m. Kashida is saying, what's your opinion on Joe's Garage Frank Zappa album? Oh, yeah, I do have it. I haven't listened to it in a very long time. I mean, I love it. I absolutely dig it. It's such a great... I mean, I love Frank Zappa's music, especially a lot of the musicians who have come through his bands over the years. I mean, that was a whole institution in itself, right? Playing in Frank Zappa's band. I mean, starting from the Mothers of Invention, all the way up until his passing. But some of our favorite musicians have come out of that band, and boy, what a challenge, right? To play that music. I've played some Frank Zappa music before, which was a lot of fun, but definitely required some shedding. I just try to play that 1916 slap riff from Keeping It Green. Oh my god, yeah, I would have to revisit that. I definitely would have to put some time into that. There's, really great stuff. There's a few times I've, hung out with Dweezil Zappa. I was playing. It was this guitar festival that I played at twice in Montana, and he was there both years. And it was during the whole week. It was like a guitar camp, essentially. And he was there, and we hung out. We had lunch together most of the days, and we had a little bit of a jam and all that. But such a super nice guy, incredible musician, like really, really cool. So yeah, Mazuka Kai, nice to see you. Here's the middle of the night post session, cool down, nice. Always enjoy swimming with the bassist. Well, glad you could join on, and I hope everything's going well. Andrew Alexander Baez. Hey Frank, can you play Running Up That Hill, The Perfect Girl, My Paranoid, Feel Good, Inc., or any of these songs you want, please? Oh man, I wish I could, if I knew those. But since I've got those names here and, obviously the chat gets saved, I'll be able to look those up and shed those. Maybe I can check them out. I'm always down for listening, checking out some new music. At least new music to me, right? Or stuff that I'm not too familiar with, But it seems like Bass Guy, he played Running Up the Hill on his live stream last Friday. Just learned it, so I need to learn it too. I should check it out. Running Up That Hill. I'm definitely going to check that out for sure. But it's nice to have you here, Andrew. Thank you so much for hopping on. Trying to remember what I played. I'll figure it out. I'm totally like, wait, what? I was trying to like harmonize it up high, and then I'm like, wait, what did I do? So I'm having a total spacing out moment. But I'll get there. Oh yeah. So Mazuka Kai, what happened on your noise bass? Your brother getting piano strings and routing a path on the back of the neck so the strings can travel all around. What? Either a servo motor or a cam system. What? Okay. That's some other stuff going on. So for those of you who don't know, Mazuka Kai, last week, he asked the question of, hey, how do I have an old Beatle style bass and I want to turn it into like a continuous vibrating like noise bass. And I said, I have no idea other than maybe using like an Ebo or whatever. And so this is what's going on here. Gonna get piano strings routed all the way around, and then a servo motor or a cam system. Okay, well, we need to see the finished product of this, because this sounds crazy, and I need to see this. Especially you got like servo motors and a cam system and all that, and you got like piano strings. Okay, we need to see this. All right. So whenever you have it finished, please tag me in social media somewhere so that I can see it, or make a video for YouTube. We got to see this. What? Keeping it in the loop. You're gonna put the strings in the loop. That's what you're doing. And thank you, Bass Guy. Yes, the tone, I agree with you. I love the tone on this thing. This thing is definitely, I've had this for almost 4 years now, and it just keeps opening up in terms of like the sound. It really, the more I play it and use it, it also is been settling in more, because this is a brand new instrument. So obviously the more you play it, you start to get more character out of it, and I'm definitely experiencing that. And also it's been adapting to my playing style as well, as with most of my instruments here, but definitely something like this is definitely been that. It definitely sings really nicely, which is what I love. And so you still play a 1980 4-string Ibanez. Nice. Is it a musician, Ibanez musician? With the, what were they? Were they made out like was it like walnut or koa or something? Is that what those were made of? They almost look like alembics, right? The musicians, but I don't know if that's what you're playing. So yeah, Mazukakaya, do I fool with the switches and knobs, or do you set the tone and roll? No, I always I'll come back a little here so you can see. I absolutely I'm always changing switches and knobs and all that, and that goes for any instrument that I play. I'm not a set it and forget it kind of person. I love to manipulate the tone, and I use that for musical reasons as well. So according to what I'm trying to achieve, because the bass, especially this bass, can achieve so many different tones. And that's one of the reasons why I designed this, electronic system. It's obviously, just my ideas put together of existing parts. Obviously, this is an Aguilar pickup in the middle here, and these two are Sonic Arch Cat pickups, and the preamp is a Nordstrand 3-band preamp, right? But in terms of what I was envisioning, it was definitely my idea, and Ibanez were able to pull it together really well, even better than I thought. The switches, these switches right here, they're just on and off switches for each pickup. So instead of having a balance knob, it's just on and off switches for each pickup. Real simple. And then the switches below, one is an active and passive switch, and the other one is a mid-frequency selector switch. So I can either choose low mids or high mids. I can't remember the frequencies. It's just whatever the Nordstrand, whatever they have. That's what it is. So it's pretty straightforward bass, but I definitely use different settings. The only thing I'll do set it and forget it is on the amp, the EQ on the amp, or the preamp. Right now I'm bypassing the preamp on the quilter here, and I'm just going into the effects return. I'm using the power amp stage, but it also has this kind of voice character switch that works in the power amp stage, and you'll be able to hear. So I had it on. I changed it to warm. It was on the modern setting. Just kind of opens up the low end a little more. And now I put it on the Q-tube side, which is almost like the SVT emulator. So if you wanted to get a little more dirt going on, you can do that. But in terms of the preamp, what I'm using, you can't see it, but with my pedals, I'm using a Trickfish Trilobite. It's a 2-channel preamp. I've been using this for about 6 years now. It's incredible. It's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, clean sound, really punchy, and just absolutely real fast kind of sound. I absolutely love it. So yeah. And so, bass guy, you've been playing a 6-string overwater bass for the last 20 years, but you wore it down big time. Wow, okay. I haven't played an overwater bass. I've seen them, and they look amazing. They sound amazing from what I've heard people playing, but you wore it down. I mean, get some get some work done on it, and you know, you should be able to get it back up. Mark Walker, how you doing? You know, you're gonna leave now as well as soon as you got in. But if you're just joined on, welcome to the live stream. We're just hanging out, talking some nerdy stuff about whether I change settings on my bass. And absolutely, I do, and I'll show you different settings I'll go to, especially for soloing. If you have any questions about bass playing, gear, like whether it's about gear or concepts, technique, anything like that, you have you want some clarity on anything, even about gigs, anything like that, stuff on a professional level, please pop it down in the chat and I'll do my best to help you out, because this is always a great, insightful experience for everyone, including myself. But you know, we always like to have a really good time here just talking about bass and music. So I appreciate you all being here. If you haven't, please like and subscribe, because that helps get my stuff in other people's YouTube feeds. So in terms of like the different sounds I'll do, so obviously a very popular sound that a lot of bassists like to do when soloing is the back pickup, right? So pretty nice, cuts through. I'll use the EQ as well, so I'll bump up the mids if I want to kind of just cut through a little more. So I didn't have it full, I definitely had it in between full and halfway. But generally I will keep everything flat, well, the bass and the mid flat on the instrument, because I like to have that as my starting point. The treble, I actually turn the treble all the way off. Because I use my passive tone control, which works in active mode as well. But the reason is because I'm not really into so much treble. Even when I do have the tone control, turned up, I like to have a roll off of those real super high end, right? So even with that, that's with the with the treble rolled off, I'll use the tone control kind of sparingly if I want to add a little more high end. Because if I was to put the treble up like on, just to have it on flat, it's too much like for me. If I turn it off, it just brings it down a little more, right? But even then, I like to just have it, the treble not really biting so much, And then, having all pickups on. Front pickup I'll use as well for soloing. So I go between everything, and that also goes for when playing bass as well. I like to be able to dial in different sounds. I like to be this chameleon where I can blend into anything. And that's always been my perception of when playing bass. And that's what Billy Childs used to call me. He used to call me the chameleon because I could just blend in, just fit anywhere where I needed to. That was my whole purpose, because again, it's sure I'm bringing my sound, but my sound or anyone's sound, your sound is more than just your tone or your pickup settings that you have on your instrument. It's about your approach, how you bring your voice to the music, right? That's a big part of it. And you know, at the end of the day, yeah, it's about the music. That's how it is for me. Whatever instrument I'm playing, I'm bringing myself, my approach, my vision into it, and it's more than just pickup settings, tone, gear, anything like that, right? It's a whole thing. So yeah, you know, going a little deep, cerebral there, but I mean that's just how it is. It's art, right? What's going on in the chat here? Basically, my main bass is now an RBX Yamaha. I took the frets off. Nice. Okay, you did a nice fretless conversion there. Nice. That sounds fun. Adri96 said hi. Hi. Hallowed be thy name. Mazuka Kai got a fuzz tone, or was that unnecessary for your gig? Yeah, I mean, I don't. I haven't really. I haven't had to use a fuzz tone, so I don't have a fuzz pedal. I do have a pedal that does that. It's somewhere in my closet. It is an Exotic Effects. Was it BB preamp, right? Which is essentially just an overdrive boost pedal for bass. It's really great, but I've only used it a few times on some recordings or whatever. But yeah, I've never had to use a fuzz pedal on anything, really. I'm always starting clean, and then different effects that I have here are kind of just added into that when necessary. But yeah, in terms of what I'm doing, yeah, I've never had to use a fuzz pedal or been asked to use one. So there's that. When you were younger, you had your highs full up and slap. Now I turn off the highs. Yeah, exactly. It's just I mean, I was never a fan of like the huge, like super high end, especially on a 6-string bass. You know, when you're playing up high. Like, I like to let the instrument really speak and not have to. I just can't do the whole thing with like so much going on. That's not really my thing. I'll do that if I need to dial in like that Marcus modern slap. I'll do that for sure, because that is a usable tone. That's a tone that is needed. So there's a time and place for everything. I think everything is kind of necessary in some circumstances, you know. So that's how it is, you know. Vincent, how you doing, man? Hello from Hong Kong. How you doing, bro? Good to see you. Vincent's a great, incredible bassist over in Hong Kong. He's been studying with me in my bass coaching program, and has been really into playing bass chords and all that, but really aspiring young bassist who's got a nice bright future ahead of him. But if you're in Hong Kong and need a bassist, or you're going to Hong Kong and need a bassist, you can hit up my dude here, Vincent. So, exactly, you are the music and the guitar is the instrument. That's what Charlie Hayden, who one of my teachers, said to me. I think I said this in the last live stream, but I keep saying this to my students as well. You are the music. You don't play the music. You are the music. All right? You get together with the other musicians, or even if you're by yourself, you are the music. The music comes from you. When you're playing with other musicians, you're getting together and you're having a conversation. Each person is the music. They're putting the music out there and you are adding to it. So, yeah, that's always a thing. Don't just play it. Be it. Be the music. Isn't there a commercial that has something along those lines? I think, it's like a chocolate bar or something. I can't remember. But I appreciate it. Everyone hanging out here. We're only just kind of getting started, but we're already getting into some nerdy kind of stuff. The nerdier, the better, really. So, like, nerdy gear and all that, questions, please pop it down in the chat. I love talking about gear, and sometimes I go on a tangent about it, which just sometimes happens. When you talk about stuff that you love, it's a big thing. So yeah. Black Mantis Productions, Happy New Year to you too. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. And welcome to anyone who's here. Just a reminder, like and subscribe. Also, description box are all my links to my Base with Benjamin resources. Check it out while you're here. Why not? Just have a look. You might see something that you like. So just have a little gander. It's all there. All right, I'm kind of done with this chord progression. Play something else. All right, something is feeling a little off. Like that. Wow, that sounded a little muffled. Oh, okay, that's better now. I don't know, for some reason I was like, sometimes, obviously the temperature in this room can fluctuate quite a bit. I do have a fan on, so sometimes the basses will get a little out of alignment, So it's all good. And Mazuka Kai, yes, get my hands on a proper fuzz sometime. Right, roll that neck tone off and enjoy the sag. I'll have a go. I'll check it out. I just had to figure out what to use it for, right? So yeah. Basic 89, how you doing? Welcome. Figured you stop in, see what you do. Hey, well, I'm gonna do some more playing. I've been doing quite a bit of talking with some background music, but since someone mentioned, I think it was you, Mazuka Kai, you were talking about the tune Windows. I might actually... Yeah. Played this in a long time. That's a man. Whoever mentioned that, Windows, thank you. I haven't played that in a minute, and beautiful changes, challenging but beautiful, and yeah, one of my favorite Chick Corea tunes. One of the greatest. I just loved those tunes, that era as well. So many eras of Chick Corea that I just absolutely love. But his electric stuff, huge fan of. Also the acoustic stuff, right? The straight ahead stuff, just absolutely beautiful, right? It's foundational music. It really is. So yeah. And Basic 89, thank you. I appreciate it. Got tons of musician friends on here, always looking to add more. Absolutely. Same here, right? And Hartvig, looking forward to hearing your approach. I always find the part where it goes between A flat to A7 hard to make sense in a solo context. Yeah, absolutely. That one is definitely tricky. You can always in terms of looking at something like that, I always use that part as because it's a tension, right? So you can play some kind of out of the box kind of things. So you can kind of only if you have the delivery right, you can kind of get away with almost playing anything over that, and then the resolve is that E major 7, right? So literally what I did was I just played like in fourths, and I just moved it up, just in like half steps, right? That was the thing. So and because you're just like building tension in that part, and the way that the chords move in that, it's I mean, that's always been kind of my approach to that, right? So and then you're going to make sure that you're going to land on a note that is in E major 7 or E Lydian, right? That's the thing. Something ridiculous like that. You just gotta try stuff instead of like trying to like, okay, no, exactly, because it just moves so fast, right? That's the thing. It really does. So just have a go. That's why this tune is such a great one to really just shed. That's the genius of Chick Corea. Really is. How low is the action, especially on the treble side? Well, it's the action is it's lowish, right? It's not super low. It really isn't. There are cats that I know who have lower action than what I've got going on here. So the action on each bass varies, but all I know is that I always am tweaking things or just kind of doing little minimal adjustments, just based on how I'm feeling physically as well. So there are times where I've had the action like cranked up high, and that wasn't okay, I'm gonna have practice with the action high so that I can develop some strength. No, it's just how I was feeling, and usually that happens if I've been playing a lot of upright bass, right? Then when I get on the electric, it sometimes feels a little too low. I need to have like this kind of balanced resistance going on, so I'll adjust it to do so, right? So I always kind of it moves, every I don't know, month or so, whatever. Sometimes it just stays where it is. My more vintage instruments, I just leave them where they're, unless they really need to have some adjustments, through the seasons. But the P bass with flat wounds, I just leave that alone. That's kind of just set to be kind of medium-ish, because I'm not going to be playing the stuff I play on that bass, right? That bass is to serve a particular sound and vibe, and it influences me to play a certain way too. This bass and the two groove lines you see behind me, they're set up to essentially, to be streamlined, to be able to fly on them. That's what they are. I mean, this is, really, this is like, these are sports cars. This is like a Bugatti Veyron, and those two are like Ferraris. Like that's how I approach it. And my vintage basses are like old vintage like muscle cars, where you have to kind of like muscle them a bit, but when they're going, they're powerful. That's how I look at it. And then the upright bass, that's like trying to, it's like a cruise ship, trying to navigate 747. So yeah, oh man. Look, some people have their action really low. I think, my whole thing is that you should have your action, and I've mentioned this many times, you have your action where it's good for you, All right, don't have your action just because somebody said you need to have your action low. You need to have your action high. Oh, you get better sound when it's like that. Look, if you can play your instrument comfortably where you don't have to fight it, you will get a good sound, right? Because you are playing it the way that you feel natural, that's comfortable for you. When you're comfortable, then and you can play what your heart desires, you will get the sound that you want. That's the whole thing, you know. Action has to be pretty. Look, could be the strings. You've ever played magma strings? They're like super loose, feeling almost like a 6-string guitar. I've never played magma strings, but I have played like some really low tension strings, and they weren't for me. They were just too loose. I need to have a little bit of resistance. I need to have some kind of this kind of like bounce, but not the super loose kind of thing. And that's just what my hands are used to. But it's going to be different for somebody else, right? Somebody might need to have the really loose tension as well. In this day and age, there's something for everyone, which I think is great, and it's the way it should be. There's a string for everyone, there's an instrument for everyone, there's an amp for everyone, there's a pedal for everyone. That's how it is. Go find what works for you, right? Get some ideas, get some opinions, but figure out what works for you, what makes you produce the music that you were trying to play. And that's how it's been for me, you threw some magma flats on one of your 6-string basses and you enjoy it. Nice. Yeah, I think, a 6-string bass with flat wounds is pretty cool. There's some cats I know who do that, and it sounds great, So, again, whatever works for you. You enjoy it, makes you happy, makes you play the music you love and you're hearing in your head, do that. Yes, Mazugukai, we are in the golden age of tone. We really are. We're so lucky, right? Yes, I definitely love vintage equipment, vintage amps and instruments and pedals and all that. Sure, I love the nostalgia behind it. I love the history behind it. I would say my favorite vintage amp would be the Acoustic 360, the Jaco rig or the Larry Graham rig, the John Paul Jones rig. Just because it was just so unusual, but it was a vibe, it was a tone, and it's totally something that would drive so many people crazy now. Because that was a cabinet that was designed to be a long throw, right? Because this was before they had really good reinforced PAs, right? So majority of the sound is coming from the stage. That's why you saw a lot of cats using multiple amps, so many cabinets, But the Acoustic 360 was something where you had to stand at the back of the room to really hear it and feel it as well. So a lot of times, people who are at the back of the room and the venue are just getting absolutely pounded by it. If you stood right in front of it, you didn't have the full character of it. And especially the one that Jaco used. This was an 18-inch Serwin Vega speaker that was reversed, and the cabinet had a folded horn. So this whole cabinet would just throw the sound. But that was the sound, and Jaco would use many cabinets of that. Peter Erskine told me that on stage, even though we've seen pictures and videos, Jaco Weather Report or with word of mouth, you would see two of these bass rigs, or at least two of those cabinets on stage. Well, with Weather Report, he actually had 4 cabinets on stage. He had 2 behind him, and then he had 2, one on each side as side fills. I mean, that sounds absolutely amazing to me. Sure, is it like absolute overkill? But I love it. I mean, you're gonna get a big sound through that. I just felt sorry for Wayne Shorter, who, like, you know, he had his saxophones and he had a microphone, and that was it. And you know, that's hard, right? Hardvig, how picky are you in regards to stringage? Do you change often on your 6 strings? Yeah, I change when it feels that it needs to change, when the tone is not necessarily there. So if I have an important performance or recording session coming up, I'll change the strings. But right now the strings on this, they're probably at least a month old, and they're doing pretty nice. I'm definitely enjoying it. They feel good. I have some gigs coming up in the next few weeks, and so we'll see if I'll just keep these on here. But they feel good, so because they feel good and they sound good, I'm gonna keep it on here because I'm enjoying it. You know, they've definitely broken in, and so they're feeling good. But yeah, it's really, and every string set pack is going to be totally different. Some are going to last longer than others. You know, they're not always the same consistency. That's what it is. It's just like, you know, when you get drumsticks, they might have been through the same machine or whatever, but there's going to be ones that are going to be like a little different, right? That's been my experience with strings. But my favorite strings to use are the DR high beams. Yeah, the DR high beams, that's what I use. 30 to 130 on my 6 strings. Fat beams I really like as well. I use that on my fretless, my red fretless. I use the fat beams. They have a little stiffer tension, but they have a really nice, especially on the fretless, they have a nice kind of zing to them. They kind of remind me of like the roto sound, like swing bass 66, is that what it's called? But in my opinion, better. So yeah. Untold Misery, nice to see you. Thanks for coming through. In basic, yeah, you have a 79 acoustic 120. Nice. Yeah, I bet that does sound great. I played through some cool acoustic, vintage acoustic rigs, and they're a lot of fun. They really are. I love playing modern instruments through vintage bass rigs. It's such a great thing. I did this recording session a few years ago with a great producer, singer-songwriter, keyboard player, vocalist, Taylor Graves. He called me for the session. It was him playing piano, myself, and the great James Gadsden on drums. Legendary drummer. Played a lot with Bill Withers. He's on some Motown recordings, played James Brown, Marvin Gaye. I mean, he's one of, the legends. So, I was like, okay, tick that off my bucket list. But I did this, so we did this session, and it was at a recording studio, and this recording studio in particular was literally modeled, this dude, he had modeled it after a studio from like the late 60s. He just had this like one live room and a control room, and the equipment he was using was all like vintage stuff. I mean, we were tracking to tape, and it was like he had a console that you would find in a studio from the 60s, microphones and all that, even the house drum kit. And he had a bass amp there. He wasn't doing direct bass, he was just had a mic on the bass amp, and it was an old Ampeg flip top, B15. And I had my 6-string bass, not this one, but my other one. And I was like, all right, so we're going for the old school vibe. So I plugged that in, and I dialed in my, my good P bass tone on that instrument, because I mean, look, you can absolutely do that. Turn the tone all the way down, front pickup, treble, you can absolutely, however you do it. And it was good to go. And so we tracked the tune. It was great. James Gadson, incredible feel, groove. I mean, it was just like, oh man, there's the sound right there. Like, oof, what a force. And so we're listening back, and everything's sounding great. We're just like, yeah. And then the engineer, because he was obviously he was during the recording and all that and the setup, he was just focusing on his gear, because when you have vintage equipment like that, especially recording equipment, there's so much that needs to be absolutely just babysat, right? So he didn't get a chance to see what bass I was playing. He's listening. He's like, man, sounds great. He's like, what bass you playing? And I said, have a look. He had a look, and he saw my 6-string, and he just looked absolutely horrified. He looked horrified. He was like, what? He's like, you're getting that sound off a 6-string bass? He's like, man. He's like, I've been talking trash about any 6-string bass, 5-string basses and all. He said, I'm all about like P basses, flat wounds, and anything vintage like that. He said, but man, you just convinced me. And I said, well, it's not always just about the tool. It's like, it's how you use it. It's about the player. And so I figured, we're here in this setting. We have a drummer that was playing on recordings in the 60s and 70s, all your equipment, and the type of tune we were recording was to have that vibe and that sound of this like late 60s soul R&B kind of vibe. And this is the bass I showed up with, and so I was like, let's just do that. So that's the thing, and it was so fun. It almost felt like going back in time and seeing, what would it have been like to have played a 6-string bass like in the 1960s. I mean, I tell you, the way that this dude had the studio set up, it felt like I was in like a time warp, and we went back in time. It really felt like that. And the drummer, James Gadson, because obviously, he was around during all that. He was just like, he's looking around. He's like, where am I? He's like, it was amazing. One of my favorite experiences ever. So that's the cool thing. Would like to hear that 6-string through a high watt amp? Oh man, I would love to hear it through a high watt. I've used them for 30 years and they're super fidelic. Nice. I would love to hear what this sounds like through something like that. I'm sure it'll be pretty wild. So yeah. Untold Misery. Have you seen the new Ibanez MDM 1300? The mode. Okay, folks. I knew someone was going to ask this, and I was waiting for someone to ask this. First of all, yes, I have. Absolutely. They look incredible. I am extremely excited. Ibanez have been in contact with me. Stay tuned. And let me just say that this is a big deal for Ibanez. I'll tell you that. This is a big deal. This new line of basses that they've introduced. And I've been watching people's responses on like the different postings, and all that. People are pumped. They're excited. And Ibanez have really stepped up even more. And I'm extremely happy, and to where it's like you've got something that is traditional in a modern thing. And that's what they first attempted to do with the groove lines 15, 16 years ago. Obviously, it wasn't very successful, but it feels like that they have learned a lot from that, and this is what they've come out with, and it looks incredible. The videos that I've heard sound really great, and I think it's awesome that they have different wood combinations. They have this instrument in a 4, 5, and a 6 string. They've got it covered. They've literally got, they've got it covered. And, this is why I'm so proud to be with a company that's doing some great things and have been really great to me, not only with building me this beautiful bass here, but it have, provided me instruments that have helped shape me as a musician, that have helped me find my sound. Specifically, these two back here, right? The groove lines. And so the mode basses, it's a whole thing. So I'm excited, and like I said, we've been in contact, so stay tuned. All right. And I know that I think they will be available, I think in the summer of this year. So Northern Hemisphere summer. But wow. And let me just say this. A 6-string jazz bass. There's not many 6-string jazz basses available. And I think first of all, Fender have had the opportunity for at least 40 years to really do that. They got close with with that Steve Bailey bass. They got close, and I think a few were in production, but it hasn't been a thing. But now Ibanez have stepped up and be like, "We got you. We have a 6-string jazz bass that is in production and looks incredible. It sounds great. It has all the features that I would typically go for. They've got a tone control in there, 3-band EQ, mid selector. You can go from high to low mid, and the different combinations of wood. And it just looks incredible. I'm pumped. I am excited. Y'all should be too." And it seems like a lot of people are. Thank you, Basic89. Nice to see you on here. Take care. I appreciate you hanging out. Yeah, I'm like totally. Let's see, and I appreciate you all hanging out in the chat here. Being great to chat. Let's see the things that Basic89 was saying. I usually run a 2000 watt Behringer head on a Hockey 410 cabinet. Nice. So you got a full stack Hockey 410, 115. Classic. Yeah. Classic kind of bass stack, right? So yeah, you guys are gear nerds and I love it. We're all gear nerds here. We have our thing, right? That's what it's all about. Diodario flats. Hartwig using DRs as well. Nice. And yeah, you got the DR Federa stainless strings. Nice. Because yeah, they partnered up with Federa. So whenever you get a Federa bass, it comes with DR strings on it, which is really cool. And then something about old gear that sounds more real, if that makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. You know? And before we know it, all this new gear that we have is going to be old and vintage and all that. And I think it's still going to sound great. My AccuGroove, I got this brand new about 12 years ago, 13 years ago now. It still kicks butt. It really does. It is solid. It sounds great, and I'm just going to keep using it, and because it is solid. You can put anything at it, and it just holds it up, and it's crisp, punchy, nice low end, and that's only a 12 with a 5-inch mid driver and 2 tweeters in there, and it's a 3-way isolated situation going on, so really good. Yeah, you guys are nerding out what you have. So someone's got a 215, 418. What? But this is basic 89. Buddy of mine brought a sound. Oh, it's a sound system. Well, that makes sense. But yeah, that's gonna be. You would just like rattle everyone's roofs. Everyone's roof will just like fall down in your neighborhood. Like put a low B through that. I tell you, AccuGroove. They have a cabinet that's a 21-inch subwoofer. It's insane. You play some dub reggae bass on that. Ooh, that's gonna sound. That's gonna be wild. Play some like deep, hip hop. That's gonna be. My God, it's gonna be crazy. Use that. PV cabinets. Yeah, the old PV cabinets, the 218s. That's right, and the 210s. I totally remember those. Those were great. Heavy as anything, but they sound. I love those. I mean, that was essentially, you may as well just have that instead of like an 810, right? So yeah. And yeah, nobody makes a better bass for money than Ibanez bass. But when you are selling them in a store, they have 6 million model variants. They sure do. They have a lot of models. So many variants. Like I said, there's a bass for everyone. And Ibanez have a bass for everyone. And thank you, Mazuka Kai. I appreciate you hanging out. Yeah, it's 3:15 where you are. Got a lunch gig, a dementia ward. Nice. Play some music for people. That's always great. And especially helping out. So I appreciate that. What do you say about musicians having short memories? Hey, well, I think whatever your illness or your disability, whatever, music is always something that anyone can connect to and relate to. It really can. And I think when you can share that with people who don't always get to be around it, or who are suffering as well, I think you do that part of bringing some joy into their lives, which is needed, right? Music is accessible to everyone, and that's why that's why I do these live streams. I want this to be, this information, any of this, to be accessible to everyone all over the world. And that's what Bass with Benjamin is about. And of course, look in the description box. You can definitely get some access into my courses. And if you want to get a one-on-one lesson with me, you can do that as well. Just check out the links below. Even if you just want to get a one-on-one, just one-off lesson, you can do so. Or if you want to join my bass coaching program, that is also another one where you have one-on-one guidance. I give you feedback. I hold you accountable to your bass goals and whatever it is that you're trying to achieve as a bass player. So if you're a beginner, intermediate, advanced. It doesn't matter what level you're at. You can join up because, like I said, this is accessible to everyone. It really is. That's what music is. Music is for the people. You are the people. So great stuff, Mazuka Kai. You're doing some great work there. Enjoy your gig. Have a good rest. I'm gonna play some music. We've been doing a lot of talking. I'm gonna play some tunes. Let's see. I'm gonna play some Alan Holdsworth because I love Alan. Alan is one of my huge influences in music, and who is one of the greatest musicians in history. So I'm going to play some Alan Holdsworth. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, I shared in my stories like a picture that I thought I would never see, but a picture of Stanley Clarke and Alan Holdsworth. They must be like at soundcheck or something. And then in the back, you can see Michael Brecker, with a saxophone around his neck, and he's chatting with someone. And then later on, I found there's someone on Facebook had posted a flyer of a Queen Mary Jazz Festival that was in Long Beach, California, like in the late 80s. And the lineup of bands just looked absolutely insane. I mean, it was like Miles Davis, it's Chick Corea Electric Band, there's like Flora and Aeto, there's like Bob James, and then where that photo was from of Stanley and Alan and Brecker, so that band was like, I think what they called it, the Jazz Explosion or something. And so it's the lineup is. So it's Stanley on bass, Alan Holdsworth, George Duke on keyboards, Michael Brecker on sax, Freddie Hubbard on trumpet, and Lenny White on drums. I'm just like, what? Insane. I'm like, this is what jazz festivals were like back then? I'm like, my gosh. So that, all those cats are like, my biggest influences. Lenny White's drumming is just some of my favorites, especially on like the Return to Forever stuff, but his solo stuff as well. And also like just as playing, with Freddie Hubbard on those early CTI recordings. But anyway, just some nerdy stuff there. I'm gonna play Alan Holdsworth tune here called Letters of Mark, and this is actually a live version. And this had, this is Gary Novak on drums, one of the great drummers who, I've played with many, many times. Just, incredible dude, wonderful musician. And then this one originally had, the late great Dave Carpenter on bass as well. And they were part of the Alan Holdsworth trio in the late 90s. So I'm going to play this version of, Letters of Mark. Gonna have some fun here. Thank you, everyone. Oh my God. Alan. Just something else. And yeah, and Gary Novak is also something else. Gary Novak. We've played together a whole bunch. We've recorded as well. And he's even engineered a session that I've done. But Gary. Woo. One of the greatest. And if you live in LA, he plays regularly, like at the Baked Potato with Many Cats. And he will play with like Jeff Lorber, with like Jimmy Haslip and all that. He plays with so many cats. You know, he plays with Scott Kinsey. Gary is kicking butt, you know, and is also an incredible rock drummer as well. He toured with Alanis Morissette for years as well. In the 90s, I think he was doing this at the same time that he was playing with Alan as well, right? So it was like in Alanis Morissette's band, it was like Chris Chaney on bass. So I mean that was a killing rhythm section right there, those two cats. But yeah, Gary, one of the cats. And of course, Alan, one of the absolute maestros, who just, he's just something else. So I'm gonna tame it down a little bit. I'm gonna play a Steps Ahead tune. We'll go from Alan Holdsworth to Steps Ahead. Why not? And I love this tune. And Steps Ahead have been also another favorite of mine, and I started getting into them, you know, when I was starting to get more into Eddie Gomez, a great bassist who was the first bassist in Steps Ahead. And also Cat, he was mainly known as from the classic lineup with like Don Grolnick. Steve Gadd was the first drummer, and this is when it was still called Steps. This is like late 70s. You know, Mike Brecker, of course, Mike Manieri. And then in the early 80s, after Peter Erskine left Weather Report, he started playing with Steps Ahead. So it was like Peter with Eddie Gomez, Mike Brecker, Mike Manieri. Don Grolnick would play, but they also had Eliane Elias, a wonderful, amazing pianist. She's really great and still also playing really great as well. And is married to the great bassist Mark Johnson, who's also played with Steps Ahead too. He was in the last Bill Evans trio, and amongst other musicians as well. So I'm going to play the Steps Ahead tune called Pools, because Pools is such a great tune, and this is originally written by Don Grolnick, their pianist. So here we go, Pools. What a classic. That Michael Brecker solo in there? Ridiculous. That's another one. You know, you go like you go from Alan Holdsworth to Michael Brecker. I mean, it's heavy. Um, oh man, and Untold Misery. Yeah, do you memorize the tracks? Yeah, so both of those tunes, yes, I know very well. I've played them many times on many gigs. Um, Especially something like Letters of Mark. I do have a chart somewhere, but I've played it so much that's it's just muscle memory. Pools I've played many times, and I even my group back in Los Angeles, I did we did a version of Pools, same layout, but we just changed up the feel. Um, we just changed up the feel. My drummer Channing Cook Holmes, great drummer in my band in LA. He just did more of a kind of like pocket kind of beat. And when he started doing that, when we first started rehearsing, I was like, "Yeah, all right, cool." Because my intention was like, "Yeah, we'll just play the tunes." I'd sent everyone the recording, um, and some of the cats already knew it. But when I send out charts, I send recordings as well. Um, and I guess Channing thought, hey, well, let me put my kind of feel on it, and I loved it, and so we kept playing it like that. It was really cool. But obviously, with Peter Erskine had he created like a real signature kind of beat on that tune with this kind of uh, little kind of like reggae-ish kind of thing going on, which was really cool. But I love it. I love it. Such a great tune. Steps ahead. Is oh wow, some of you cats are. I appreciate you tuning in. Like when it's like early hours of the morning for you, like 4:50 in the morning. It was like 3 a.m., 2 a.m. So you're out in Tampa. Well, I'm on the other side of the world from you, Mark. I'm in New Zealand, so I'm I'm on the totally opposite end of you. And you're a great drummer, but too old to play. Well, hey, I think um, if you even if you play something to some sort of capacity, you can still enjoy, even if it might not be what what you used to play, but you can still enjoy the joy of being with the instrument and being around it and playing music and listening to music, you know, and that's something that I've always seen with a lot of and we still see with a lot of great musicians. Obviously, yes, people are going to be at different stages or different abilities as they get older and all that. But the thing with a lot of my older colleagues and mentors is that the love for music and for the instrument is always in there, you know. Um, so, but they will play the instruments, even just just to like just be around it, just to play it, just to do something, something enjoyable. So that's something that I would say to you, Mark. I don't know your story, but I think it's great that you're here because obviously you're passionate about music, and I appreciate you tuning in. And you like to be around music and listen to music and watch music. So thank you. So cool. I'm almost done here. And I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to play something else. Let's see. I'm kind of thinking. I had so much fun playing Alan Holdsworth. I'm going to finish off another Alan Holdsworth tune. I'm just going to pull it up. I want to thank everyone. I want to thank you all for hanging out. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for hanging out. This has been so much fun. It really has. I hope you've all been having a great start to your new year, wherever you are in the world. And if you haven't, please, if you haven't already, is what I'm saying, please like and subscribe here to my YouTube channel. That way you will know anytime I go live or I post anything. And also it just helps get my content in, random people's YouTube feeds. And we've already seen that from tonight, right? There was someone at Basic 89. It just came across his feed and he just tuned in and was like, oh, let me check it out. And this has been the case with a lot of people. So please do so. Also, down below in the description box are links to all my bass resources. So check them out. That's all their courses. You want to join my bass coaching programs. You just want to get a one-off lesson with me. But in addition to that, if you want to further help out my channel here, you can buy me a coffee or a matcha latte or a green tea or some sort of caffeinated beverage. I won't have a caffeinated beverage now because it's like 11 p.m. at night. But you can do so at my Ko-Fi Ko-fi link that is provided in the description box. Everything is down there. You know what to do. Check it out. I know for a lot of you this is not your first rodeo of looking in the description box. So have a look. I'm pulling up this Alan Holdsworth tune, and I'm also going to pull up the chart as well because I need to look at the charts to play this tune. I haven't played this tune in probably like at least 15 years. But this is one that I used to play with an old fusion band of mine. We used to do this one. That was a great one. So, yep, we got the chart here, 2-pager. All right, so I'm going to send you out. So once again, thank you so much. I'm going to send you out with the Alan Holdsworth tune called Tokyo Dream. So here we go, Tokyo Dream. It's just loading it up. And this. Now, there was two versions of this tune that was recorded. There was an early 80s version with Jeff Berlin and I think maybe Gary Husband, or it was Chad Wackerman. And then there was another version that was recorded later, and I think it was recorded and as like a bonus on one of the albums, which had Jimmy Johnson and I think probably Steve Hunt, and I think is also Chad Wackerman. And so I'm going to play that version here. But as soon as my little music player here loads up the track, okay, it's doing its thing. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to play Tokyo Dream by Alan Holdsworth. So here we go, everyone. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Y'all have a great night, morning. Okay, what's going on here? It's doing some things. Oh, no. Morning, lunchtime, dinner time, afternoon tea, morning tea, midnight snack time, wherever you are in the world. Be safe, and I will be back live again at the end of the week. For some of you that will be Thursday, and for you that will be Friday. So I'll see you then. So here's Tokyo Dream by Alan Holdsworth. For real this time. All right, you cats. Thank you so much. Thanks so much. I appreciate you hanging out. And take care wherever you are in the world. I'll see you again soon. All right. Peace.